Welcome everyone to the fourth week of the Business Management Capstone class. During this video, I'll be covering the assignments that you will be working on this week and the results from Globus from last week. As always, I'll post a weekly announcement. Let's go ahead and click on the weekly modules content area on the left-hand side. Go ahead and click on the week 4 chapter 2 folder. As stated in previous videos, we have the same structure. We will always begin with the learning objectives for that week. Then the assignment summary, which will be obviously watching this video. Reviewing chapter 2, reviewing the PowerPoint for chapter 2, reviewing the Learn Smart documentation, the student quick tips and best practices if you have not done so already. And for the assignments, you will have your course participation discussion board, which is on collaboration, the Chapter 2 Learn Smart, the Globus decision for Year 6, a Globus Year 6 report, which is new, which I will cover, and the quiz for Chapter 2. So let me go ahead and scroll down. Here we have the Module 4 course content information, which is your PowerPoint for Chapter 2, the key financial ratios, the Learn Smart information, and the Globus simulation documentation. Next, we have the course participation collaboration discussion board. By this point, teams may be struggling with collaboration among your team members. Well, that's why I have this assignment. To give everyone a chance to review some videos and to determine is really the collaboration issue within yourself, within your team members, or maybe both. The goal here is within step 1, you should review at least several of these videos, if not all, if you have an opportunity. In step 2, you want to provide an initial post within the discussion board for these questions, such as what area of collaboration do you feel that you need to improve most? What was the biggest takeaway from the videos? What did you learn that may assist with your team being successful this semester? What collaboration tools will be used to make your virtual team more effective? And if your team is currently struggling with communication, how can you improve this situation? And then, of course, step 3, once you create your initial post, you must make a comment on at least 2 other posts. Which from last week's discussion board, it seemed like everyone did a great job with their comments. They were detailed, they weren't just great job, I agree. So keep it up. So moving on, we have the Chapter 2 Learn Smart. You'll be reading the e-text and answering questions as you go along. Then you want to complete the Chapter 2 quiz. And next, what we have is the Globus Simulation Year 6 report. I highly suggest to complete the Year 6 report before completing the Year 6 decisions. Now, that's not saying that you cannot just go ahead and start working on the decisions. Yes, of course, you may, but I think it's very helpful if you complete the Year 6 report first, because then you can kind of have a guide to go by to make your decision off of. So the reason why we're doing the yearly reports now, starting with Year 6 all the way through 15, is I want you to start analyzing your decisions, not just simply making them. Anybody can go and make decisions, and you might get lucky, and you might do decent, and maybe you're not last place, but maybe you're 7th or 8th, and just kind of treading water. Well, I want to make sure every team is understanding their strategy, the outcome of that strategy. So each week you will have a yearly report. As you can see, there is a rubric that goes along with it, so you can review that if you have any questions with the point system. So we have questions such as within this yearly report is, where are you now? Is your company in a good, average, or weak competitive position? The next one's like, where do we want to go? What goals do you have for your company? So on and so forth. And the last category is, how are you going to get there? And it has some sub-questions within there. So this is what I want to stress about the yearly report. Like the title says, it's a report. It's not Q&A, meaning that you don't just answer these questions one by one saying, okay, the very first one says, where are we now? And you type on your paper, where are we now? Question mark. And your answer is, we're doing pretty good, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, that's not really a report. That's just Q&A. Because then the next thing you would do is just put, okay, well, does your company appear to be in sound financial condition? Question mark. And then you would just answer that. That's not a report. A report would basically be able to answer all these questions within more of a paragraph format than just a Q&A, question and answer. Last semester, it took most teams a while to kind of grasp that concept. Keep in mind, it should be a report, meaning that I should be able to just read the report, and within that report, I would find the answers to all these questions. The report should be professional. It should have a nice cover page within the report. The report just should look professional all the way around, from the first page to the last page. I would say I probably stress more of the look of the report as I'm grading than almost the content within it. I really want everyone to get used to creating really nice reports. So if you say, well, do you have examples? Yeah, I have tons of them from last semester that I'm not showing you, because I don't want you to just copy the examples. That's not good. It's a very easy concept. You will be answering these questions within a report, not just putting the question and then the answer to each one. Okay? So I think it'll probably take you a few weeks to get the hang of it. Now, with that said, every team that made a good attempt last semester, they did well on each report. And I just would make comments like, I want to see this next time, I want to see that next time. So don't be fearful of, okay, you're going to get a 50 on this first report. No, if you do a great effort, nice cover page, every page within the document looks professional, you address, or I should say you answer all these questions within your report, then you're good. It should be no big deal. And then, of course, I only need one team member from each team to submit it within the Globus Simulation Year 6 report link. And then last but not least, then we have the Globus Simulation Year 6 decisions, which hopefully by now everyone's well aware how to accomplish this. Make sure you're working with your teams. I've had a lot of great questions via email and telephone and Adobe Connect sessions, so keep that up. Don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard for year 7. As you can see, Company A made a huge leap, plus 41 up to score 104. Company E, a plus 3 to 102. And then Company I, a plus 82 to 101. That's probably one of the largest jumps I've ever seen happen. And then Company D is tied for 4th, and they actually dropped 6 points now they're at 100. Now keep in mind, that's the year 7 scoreboard. If I scroll down, here's the game to date scoreboard. Company A and Company D is actually tied at 106. Then you have Company E at 105 and Company H at 101. So it was a pretty tight game, as you can see, anywhere from 93 to 106. The only team that I would have concerns would be the very last team, which is Company G at 24. That really concerns me. Hopefully they were just trying different strategies and almost playing around with the practice years, and it won't be any big deal. But if I see that kind of score by year 7 or year 8, once we begin again in the true years, then I'm going to very much be highly concerned about that team. So keep that in mind. So let's look at some other stats here. We'll look at page 2 that has the earning per shares. As you can see, Company I was the highest for earnings per share. Last year, Company D crushed everywhere. So great job, Company I. Everyone met expectations, obviously, besides Company G. So great job. It seems like everyone's figuring this out, at least coming up with some strategy here. Let me scroll down to return on equity. Then again, everyone met expectations. Company I was best in show at 54.6. Then again, Company G, I have some huge concerns. You're at 4.3. Now, you did make up ground between year 6 and year 7, so that's a positive. So hopefully you were just trying different things. And then we have stock price. Company A, 136.07 for them. Great job. Everyone met expectations, though, except Company G. So just because you weren't number 1 or number 2 or 3, hey, if you met expectations, you're on the right track. You will catch up when we truly get into the year 6 and year 7, so on and so forth. So please don't be discouraged. The only team, like I said again, is the one I would have concerns right now would be Company G. So moving on to page 3. Credit rating, as I said, the very first video when you got into Globus from last week, everyone usually ends up with either A minus, or B plus. So it seems like that kind of just takes place, except for company G. So company G credit rating does matter. It just usually is pretty easy to obtain, so watch yourself there. Moving on to image rating. So company E, 85, great job, company E. Everyone met expectations except company F and company I. So I've been saying company G this whole entire time, but now it's actually company F and company I who did not meet expectations. Company G fell a little bit from year 6, but that's probably right where they want to be, around that 79 or 80s mark. So for image rating, I give them credit. Okay, moving on to the competitive efforts by company report. We're going to go over North America again like we did last year. And let's see what's going on here. So if I quickly glance on a price, it looks like now the prices are getting a little bit closer together. We still have company I at 550, where the average is 327. So they're still on the high end, but then their PQ rating is 6.3. So maybe that's where they want to be in the long run. I guess we're going to find out here in a few weeks to see if that's going to pan out for them or not. Personally, I would double check your numbers because that still seems just a slight bit high. Normally, I don't say that in the video, but I just want to give you a heads up on that one. All right, retail support is very close for everyone. The website displays about the same, give or take. The warranty period, 360 by company I, is by far the longest. Okay, which would work in their favor. It might be costing too much though. And then if we already jumped out to market share, as we see, it looks like company E at 18.1 has the highest market share, and then you have company C, and you have company H, and so on and so forth. So make sure you're analyzing these reports, and of course that was for the camera segment. So now if we look at the drone segment, we see that the average price is about $1,400. Then again, company I is pricing it at $2,500. Their PQ rating is 5.8. So you got to ask yourself, well, why would you spend $2,500 for a 5.8 PQ rating when I could spend $1,500 for a 5.6? And so keep your eye on that. The models that they only have one, and H has two. So you really want to analyze this data to try to come up with the best strategy for the simulation, and obviously to beat the other companies. The warranty period, then again, seems all to be about the same except for company I, which is 360 again. And then if I jump all the way down to market share, it looks like it's company E that has the highest market share for the drone segment, and then you have company C, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go too in depth, obviously. You can read the data. I just like to point out a few items to you to get you going. So that's all I had this week. Please reach out if you have any questions or if you have any concerns with your team. As you can see, you have a lot more work to complete than the previous 3 weeks. So please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.